In December 2011, 23-year-old Phoenix Lucille Coldon walked out of her family's Spanish Lake, Missouri, home. Hours later, her vehicle was discovered abandoned in East St. Louis. Keys inside, its belongings in place, and she was nowhere to be found. Over a decade later, this remains one of the most haunting, unresolved cases in the St. Louis region. Despite widespread attention and media interest, Phoenix is still missing. No confirmed leads, arrests, or developments have emerged in recent years, but her family continues advocating tirelessly. Phoenix Lucille Coldon was born in 1988, the only child of Lawrence and Goldia Coldon. She grew up in Spanish Lake, a community in St. Louis County, Missouri. From the very beginning, she was raised with a strong sense of faith and discipline. Her parents, both deeply religious, instilled in her values of self-respect, integrity, and perseverance. Her mother, Goldia, described her as inquisitive, bright, and always drawn toward learning. Her father, Lawrence, made sure she was protected and supported in all her endeavors. The Coldons did not simply see their daughter as a child.
Wow.
They saw her as a gift, someone destined for great things. Phoenix was homeschooled for most of her childhood, allowing her to spend significant time developing her skills. She became an accomplished musician, learning piano and violin, and later guitar. She also displayed athletic excellence, especially in fencing. Phoenix earned recognition as a junior champion, which gave her confidence and showed her ability to succeed in multiple arenas. Those who knew her describe her as intelligent, articulate, and ambitious. She had dreams of pursuing further education, possibly in law or medicine, and was enrolled in college. Phoenix was also deeply involved in church, participating in youth ministries and community activities. Though her parents were protective and sometimes strict, Phoenix found ways to navigate the balance between honoring their expectations and exploring independence. Friends remembered her as someone who loved to laugh, who carried herself with grace, and who often stood out in a room without needing to say much. December 18, 2011, began like any ordinary Sunday. Phoenix attended church with her mother earlier in the day. Nothing seemed unusual. She spent time at home afterward, moving between ordinary activities. Around 3 p.m., Phoenix got into her mother's 1998 black Chevy Blazer. There was no mention of where she was going. Her father assumed she might be heading to a friend's place or running a short errand. The family expected her to return shortly. Hours later, at approximately 5:27 p.m., her vehicle was found in East St. Louis, Illinois, parked near 9th Street and St. Clair Avenue. This location was a significant distance from her home and not a place she was known to frequent. Here, accounts differ. Some early reports claimed the SUV was still running, with the driver's side door open and Phoenix's belongings inside. Later clarification from police records contradicted this. The vehicle was not running when found, and the door was closed. What remained consistent was that her glasses, shoes, and purse were inside, while her cell phone was missing. The car was impounded as an abandoned vehicle. Unfortunately, her family was not contacted right away. It wasn't until days later, when they began searching frantically and calling around, that they learned the SUV had been towed. Those lost days would become one of the first deep frustrations for Goldia and Lawrence Coldon. When Phoenix did not return home that evening, her parents grew concerned. At first, they thought perhaps she was visiting friends, but as hours turned into a night and no calls came through, they knew something was terribly wrong. The initial police response left much to be desired. Because Phoenix was 23, and adult authorities suggested she could have left on her own. But Lawrence and Goldia knew their daughter. They knew she wouldn't vanish without a word, leaving her glasses and essentials behind. The fact that the vehicle had been impounded without notification deepened the family's frustration. By the time they located the SUV, potential evidence may have been lost. Jurisdictional confusion complicated matters further. Phoenix had gone missing in Missouri, but her car was located in Illinois. This meant 2 separate law enforcement agencies were involved, and coordination was not seamless. Feeling abandoned by official channels, the Coldons drained their savings to hire private investigators. They placed missing person flyers everywhere, held vigils, and appeared in media interviews. They searched neighborhoods themselves, chasing leads that often went nowhere. In the absence of clear answers, numerous theories emerged. Some believed Phoenix may have chosen to leave her life behind. Evidence that supported this included her second cell phone one that her parents did not know about and her decision not to re-enroll in college for the upcoming semester. Friends revealed she had relationships her family wasn't aware of. Could Phoenix have felt suffocated by strict household rules and longed for freedom? Others pointed to East St. Louis as a known corridor for exploitation and trafficking. The location where her car was found, combined with her sudden disappearance, led some to believe she could have been targeted, yet there has never been concrete evidence to confirm this scenario. Investigators discovered that Phoenix had been involved with multiple men, one of whom was described as controlling. Some speculate that an argument or conflict with someone she knew may have escalated into a dangerous situation. Still others suggest she could have been in the wrong place at the wrong time, targeted by strangers. East St. Louis had high crime rates in 2011, making this a possibility. What makes her case more complex is the idea of a double life. Phoenix was not simply the obedient daughter her parents believed. She had carved out an independent identity, spending time with friends who knew a different version of her. While not unusual for a young adult, this revelation added mystery to her vanishing. For years, Phoenix's case received modest coverage compared to other missing persons stories. Her family noticed the disparity. They believed race and socioeconomic status influenced the level of attention. In 2016, the podcast The Vanished featured her story, bringing renewed interest. Then, in 2018, the Oxygen Network aired a two-part documentary, The Disappearance of Phoenix Coldon. Investigative reporter Chandria Thomas and retired law enforcement officer Joe Dilia revisited the case, retracing steps and re-interviewing witnesses. The documentary revealed inconsistencies. Was the SUV really running with the door open? Or had misinformation circulated in the rush of early reporting? It also examined Phoenix's hidden life. Her secret phone. Her time living with a boyfriend. Her social circles unknown to her parents. The program sparked debates online, with some blaming police for slow action and others suggesting Phoenix had more personal struggles than previously understood. Either way, the attention brought fresh eyes to the case. Goldia and Lawrence never stopped searching. They poured everything into the effort, even losing their home in the process. For them, finding Phoenix outweighed any material sacrifice. They attended every vigil, stood before cameras, and pleaded with the public. They also expanded their mission, speaking about the lack of attention for missing black women nationwide. They connected with organizations advocating for equal coverage, ensuring Phoenix's story was part of a larger conversation. Through the years, they have kept hope alive, even as time tested their strength. Their persistence is a testimony to the enduring love of parents for their child. Phoenix's disappearance underscores systemic concerns. Experts note that cases involving black women and girls often receive less media coverage than those involving white counterparts. Advocates have called this missing white woman syndrome. The delays in Phoenix's case. Delays in notifying her family about the impounded SUV, jurisdictional hesitation, and early dismissal that she might have left voluntarily, all highlight challenges families face when their loved ones vanish. Her case also illustrates how narratives shape public perception. Early rumors about her double life may have distracted from more urgent investigative efforts. As of mid-2025, Phoenix Coldon remains missing. No arrests have been made, and no confirmed sightings have emerged. Her family continues outreach, using media and public events to keep her name alive. In May 2025, blog entries revisited the inconsistencies in the case, noting that public memory often recalls her vehicle running with the door open, though police later clarified it was not. In August 2025, social media posts again highlighted her story, reminding followers that despite over a decade of searching, no trace has been found. The Coldons encourage anyone with information to come forward. They stress that even the smallest detail could be the key to answers. The disappearance of Phoenix Coldon is not just a mystery, it is a story of resilience, unanswered questions, and the bond between parents and child. Phoenix was a gifted young woman with dreams yet unfulfilled. Her sudden vanishing has left a silence that still echoes through her family and community. Though time has passed, hope remains. Somewhere lies the truth about what happened that December afternoon. Until then, her story endures as a reminder that every missing person deserves to be remembered, and every unanswered question deserves pursuit. Anyone with information is urged to contact the St. Louis County Police Department or organizations that handle long-term missing cases. For the Coldons, the search continues. With faith that one day they will know what became of their daughter, Phoenix Lucille Coldon. Thank you for watching Fatal Secrets of True Crime. Subscribe for more stories like this. Real crimes, hidden truths, and the secrets they tried to bury. Your support helps keep these stories alive and the pressure on for answers. Till next time, remember, every secret eventually comes to light.